music is the concept of clave. It's probably the most important thing that we can talk about today. So I want to spend a little bit of time talking about clave. Now, what does clave mean? It actually means something. It's a Spanish word that means foundation, essence, or key. Now just think about those three words. The foundation. The clave is the foundation of the rhythms that are found within Afro-Caribbean music. I want to show you where the clave comes from. Through a lot of playing of this music and a lot of talking about it, I found the clave within the typical Afro-Cuban 6/8 bell pattern. So what I want to do is I want to show you the bell pattern, and then I'm going to show you how clave integrates within the bell pattern. So check this out. First of all, let's look at the very typical 6/8 bell pattern. Sounds like this. 1, 2, ready, play. Many of you have probably heard that pattern before. So now what I want to do is I want to show you how the clave pattern fits into the 6/8 bell pattern. I'm going to play clave on the rim here and play the bell pattern again so you can hear how it fits in. Here it goes. 1, 2, ready, play. Hear it? That rhythm is so important in this music. And we'll be talking about that in a little bit about why it's so important. Now, that particular clave is called something. In the first measure of the phrase, there are 3 beats. I'll play it again. 3 beats. Second measure, there's 2. 1, 2, 1. Okay? Put them both together and you have the 3/2 clave. 3/2 clave is also called the forward clave. Now I'll play it for you so you can hear what it sounds like. For those of you who already know about 3/2 clave, check this out anyway. I really want you to understand about this. It's so important. So here's the 3/2 or forward clave. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, play. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Three, 2, forward clave. I feel clave as a tension and a release formula. Now, how did I come up with that idea? A lot of people have asked me, well, what's so important about clave? And the way that I found out, or feel it, I'm up there playing in a band and watching people dance. And I think to myself, why are these people dancing like this? They're really getting down and dancing like amazing. And I came to the realization or thought and feeling that it's the clave that's doing it. It's tension and release, tension and release. And it's just driving those people to dance. And believe me, when you play this music in a club and you see those people dance, it's really amazing to see and to feel. And I believe that it's the clave that's doing it. Tension and release. So 3/2 or forward clave has a tension, tension, release, tension, release. Feel it? Now there's another way of playing that clave, and that's called 2/3 clave. So the first measure has 2 beats, and the second measure has 3. I'll play it for you, and so you can hear what it sounds like. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, play. 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And the way that I feel about clave is like a street. And now, on a street, you can go in two directions. And each direction you go to leads you, of course, in a different way. And the same with clave. It's the same thing. Clave is just that street, but you can play it in two different directions. So what's really interesting is if you come up with an application of a groove idea that we'll be talking about later, that's in clave, you immediately have two different ways to play it. You can play it in 3-2, let's say you made it up in 3-2, or you can play it in 2-3. You have two different ways to play it immediately. There's very rare cases of anything that's totally wrong in Latin or Afro-Caribbean music. There's a lot of leeway in this music, but there are two things that I really want to hip you to. One is called playing out of clave. Okay. Playing out of clave, not only in a Latin context, but in any context, means that you're just not playing in the groove. And this is such an important concept. If you're playing in a big band, and you're not grooving with that band, with the bass player and keyboard player and horn section, you're playing out of clave. You don't have to be playing that clave pattern. It's a feel that's the most important thing. If you're playing in a rock band, 2 and 4 on the snare drum is clave. In a jazz band, it's that ride cymbal pattern that's clave. Follow what I'm saying? It's not that it just has to be that pattern, and it's not that it has to just be Latin music. So playing out of clave is a no-no. It's definitely not right. And the other concept is called playing cross clave. And what that means is if a song is played in 3-2 clave direction and you're playing a pattern that's in the opposite, or 2-3, it doesn't fit. It's called cross clave. And if you're ever playing in a band and the conga player turns around to you and goes like this to you, you know what he's saying. You're playing cross clave. And I found the best thing to do, stop, find where the clave direction is, and get right back into it again. So that's about clave. It's extremely important to understand. If you have any question at all about clave, you're playing in a band, ask.